we're underway on day 2 of the World Predator Classic, heading out into the herring fleet. Jens and I back on the water again, and in the distance, disappearing off to the right, is boat number 44 leading the event. Jens, they had a fantastic day yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you think today will bring?
I think they will go to the spots where they have been yesterday as well, trying to get the fish again, and yeah, doing their best.
The formula worked for them yesterday. Of course, there are no secrets in this game. I know people try to hide where they fish, but everyone knows now, don't they? Everyone knows where they've been.
The one guys shoot this color or that lure, but all over the guys who are fishing here, they nearly use the same lures, and it's no secret.
You were clearly talking to all the competitors last night, finding out what's been going on. What's the word on the street? What are people saying?
The first thing was it was hard for everybody. So it was a bit special to use or to choose the right lure. But yeah, some guys got the key, the opener to get some fish, and I think today they will fish a bit less weight than yesterday.
Better presentation.
Absolutely.
Exactly what we were talking about yesterday.
And it's much easier today, and I think we will see double number of fish today than yesterday.
What I was going to say, the other interesting thing, of course, is where the weather was so hard yesterday, where it's dropped today, it opens up lots more spots, doesn't it? Lots of other bits of water.
Yeah, especially for the small boats, where extreme conditions yesterday, and it's much easier to fish today. Yeah.
We're looking at the potential then here for probably the top 5 or 6 boats. I think there were 8 boats in total who had their 3 fish, pike, perch, zander. The feeling is you can't really win the competition unless you fill your card every day. That's what you said yesterday.
This boat will win who had a full card yesterday. The others have no chance, yeah, because in centimeters the distance is so far already, they can't pick it up.
The one great thing about this competition is the clock is reset every morning. So boat 44 behind us got 1 point yesterday. If they blow out today and get 50, they get 51 points. You know, there are 50 boats in the competition, then they're out of it. So it does open things up to the rest of the boats in the fleet, which is fascinating stuff. So Jens, we're looking over at Ayend and Martin, who are clearly struggling to find a fish this morning, and we've seen them drifting around using their finder to try to just find those perch. I assume they are fishing for perch. What do you think?
I think so, yeah, for perch and maybe for zander. They have a slow drift and try to fish a bigger area around this plateau here. There's a spot in this spot, you know. Only a small rising of the ground is a good spot where the fish are, and you need to find some structure, bigger stones on the ground, and I think that's what they're doing right now.
That's the thing in a piece of water this size, isn't it? Using the technology that the anglers have available to them. Finding, like you say, little boulders or downslopes, areas that might just hold bait fish and then obviously the predators is what you're looking for. And you can see they're working quite hard to try to find that. One thing that's on my mind here, you know, yesterday, these 2 anglers, up against all the superstars in their, you know, 60,000 euro boats, and they've gone out and they've managed to take the whole field apart really yesterday, which is a fantastic piece of angling. The pressure on these 2 guys today, you know, the expectation that they must have on themselves as much as anything else. Everyone's looking at them. You know, we're talking about a woodwork teacher here and an IT technician who are not full-time anglers leading the World Predator Classic. Can they repeat it on the second day?
Yes, for sure. They are quite locals here in the Netherlands, though I think they have plenty much more fishing days on these waters as others from the
Probably more.
Yeah. Probably much more fishing days on the water. So I think they know what to do today. I think they will try to fish the same spots that worked out yesterday. We'll see if we can see a live strike now.
The other thing, of course, is I feel that they would probably need a fish just to settle the nerves, just to calm them down, just to make sure they've got that fish in the boat and they know they're underway again.
The first fish is the hardest to get each day. So if you have the first fish in your boat, you relax a bit and you know that your plan works out.
One of the things I find interesting, if you look at the water's surface, and today we can see it much more clearly, there are very clear wind lanes. So kind of almost, if you look at the picture, you could see almost shiny bits, you know, like stripes in the water, where the two little bits of breeze are pushing together and forming a kind of slightly lighter coloured piece of water. Those wind lanes are what hold food items, so little invertebrates, flies, all sorts of bits and pieces. Yeah. And the bait fish certainly eat those if the predators don't, and if the bait fish are there, then the predators won't be too far away. I suppose the other places where fish live, you know, they have places where they live, where they sleep in fact, but also places where they'll hide from other predators. So, you know, and it's the angler's job to try to solve the problem of finding where those fish are. And the ones who do it the best are the ones who catch the most fish. You've got to, I suppose, think like a fish.
Yeah.
Well, look at that, Jens. They've done the job again. The second place boat.
It's a pike again, but only one pike counts, though hopefully it's bigger than the last one.
So this is the gamble, isn't it? This is the whole kind of poker game that we were talking about yesterday. 74 centimetre pike is already in the bag for Radek and his teammate in boat number 1. Is this pike going to be any bigger?
Putting it back, so it's small.
Yeah, it's small.
So that must have been a smaller pike, but it does show that the fish are in this area.
Yeah.
Exactly what we were just saying, that wind lane, which they're actually drifting straight up that white stripe, look. Isn't that amazing? Well, things are happening here on the herring fleet. There's boat 43, who we saw yesterday, thrashing around in the wind outside the entrance to one of the harbours. And they've got a perch in excess of 40 centimetres. Look at that, what a brilliant creature. Photograph taking place. It's just been measured, and this is the official process once again. Holding the fish up. Try and return it to the water as quickly as possible. There we see the fish being released back into the water. Yes! The Polish team in boat number 8 are still leading, and that's Tomasz Koenig and Peter Wojonski, who have caught all 3 species. In second place, Czech Republic at the moment, Jan Hubka and Jacob Kohler. In third place, the German pairing of Sasha and Sebastian, who've had a zander fest today. Obviously, I think they've caught 3 zander by the look of it. Is that a strike? Is that a fish on?
Yeah.
Looks like a fish on. At last, we see a fish on. That's a huge, huge relief for Jeremy Staverman. And you can see the activity on the boat there. Do you know, it was really interesting watching Jeremy fishing for that, because his retrieve was very aggressive. Oh no, you can't believe it. Heartbreak. Well, there's boat 18 in the middle of the herring fleet with a very special fish indeed. The measuring process taking place, and that, let me tell you, is the biggest zander we have seen this weekend. Look at that for a zander. What a fantastic creature. Big smiles all round. Look at the smiles on their faces. Is it any wonder with a fish like that? We'll just find out what the measurement is. Look at that. Well, it's all going off here with Sasha and Sebastian on boat 18. The Germans into another fish. Just a couple of seconds after putting that zander back, the rod has hooped over and it's all systems go once again. Now, after that zander a couple of minutes ago, which was a stunning 71 centimetre fish, just wonder how big this is. Just trying to get it under control. So important not to put too much pressure on these fish. We've already seen Jeremy Staverman lose a quite nice zander earlier on today. And these guys really are right in the hunt. It is happening in front of us. Brilliantly landed by the captain. And that's another nice zander. That's another big fish. Well, their score's going to go right up. We've got in first place Andre Schmidt and Danny Schaefer, who've had a good afternoon catching all 3 species. In second place, Radek Filip, the defending champion, with Martin Stepka, also filled their card with 3 species. Same story for Jan Hubka and Jacob Kohler in third. The weather's really changed this afternoon. The sun's out, the wind is laying down, and we have about half an hour's left fishing here this afternoon. So there's boat 35 heading into the marina after a stunning day on the water for Andre Schmidt and Danny Schaefer. They lead the pack with 1 day to go, a fantastic performance for them, and we'll see who's on top of the leaderboard.